Good afternoon. So, I know I am between the lunch and the stage of malnutrition. Now, the topic given to me is immunonutrition in ICU. Where do we stand? So, before beginning my talk, my sincere thanks to Rangappa sir, Ajit sir, and the whole team of JIGS to provide me the opportunity to come here and share my ideas on immunonutrition. Now, before I started preparing, when I started searching for this topic, the only thing I got is Patanjali and Baba Ramdev. Immunoboost, Immunotrix, everything related immune in Google, the first search, second search, third search, the Google engine is designed in such a way that it takes into only Patanjali and Ramdev. I'm not an opponent of that company, okay, but that's what I got in Google, okay. Now, when I went and searched immunonutrition in critical care medicine and little bit into the ASPEN and society, so probably I was really disappointed that the amount of enthusiasm these nutrition companies they put, probably the societies they failed to prove anything on the bedside. Fine. So probably I'll try to do some justice to answer this question. Where do we stand? Okay. So let's see. Now, before understanding immunonutrition, so I'll try to correlate immunity and nutrition, and especially in ICU patients. Basically, it's a kind of triangle. Okay, ICU patients, the immunity and nutrition. Probably it took a lot of time for people to correlate inflammation and nutrition, immunity and nutrition. So we'll try to understand. Then mechanism, little bit of the biochemistry behind why these nutritions are proposed to enhance nutrition. And what are so this list is very long. What are the immunonutrients available in market? The list is very long. I have selected only few. So, now let's try to understand why or how the immunity or the inflammation affect the immunity, and what is the role of nutrition in regulating this inflammation and the immunity. Now, this is a typical graph which is explained in any critical care book. A patient once enters our ICU with some deadly disease, maybe trauma, infection, or some hyperinflammatory stage. Now, the graph happens like this. So, within hours to days, patient is in severe tachycardic, tachypneic, hyperinflammatory, high metabolism stage. It may last for few hours to few days, maybe 1 week, followed by a slow but still a hyperinflammatory phase. So, the immune system gets regulated in a very different way. Okay. Now, the nutritional supplement of a patient should be tailored to the type of patient, type of disease, the days or at which phase of the disease we are dealing at. Now, as I told, it took hundreds of years people to correlate nutrition with inflammation. Okay. So, let's understand the inflammation cascade. It starts with some kind of injury, infection. The first thing to damaged, to deteriorated is the cell membrane, from where some phospholipids come, that either into the LOX or the COX pathway, arachidonic acid, that through LOX, leukotrienes, through COX, the prostaglandins, which are the ultimate things which produce the cytokines ultimately. Now, so everywhere you can see phospholipid that contains lipid, phosphate, they comes from nutrition. All these fatty acid, amino acid, the cytokines, all are products of again some kind of nutrition again. Okay. So people start thinking, if the whole cascade of inflammation, of infection is maintained by some kind of nutrition product, then why it cannot be regulated? Okay, that was the theory, that was the hypothesis behind correlating inflammation and nutrition. Though they are two different areas. Okay, let's see how the evolving world or what is the information till now we have. Now, though the list is long in Google, but when I went and searched with solid evidence, okay, I only found only 3 to 4 entities are like claimed to enhance or regulate the immune status, that too only very few in ICU patients. One is some polyunsaturated fatty acids, specifically omega 3. Then second, sulfur containing amino acids, arginine, glutamine, antioxidant, some micronutrient, okay, not with a great role, not with a great evidence. Now I'll start with some oxidants and antioxidants. So oxidants, they produce the cytokines, adhesion molecules, and so on and so forth. All are aware of that thing. Now let's discuss about the antioxidants. Now they were the first proposed molecules. If we take care of the oxidant by some counter-regulatory antioxidant, then probably the inflammation, probably the infection, or probably the immunity can be modulated in sepsis patients. So the theory looks, now the graph looks very, very beautiful, okay, because the people who put in the website, okay, they design in such a way that it will be looking very lucrative. So it looks, okay, there are some oxidant and these are the antioxidants. Now it's like A for apple, okay. So, but exactly, does it happen in bedside? Does it happen with the patients? So superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione peroxidase, all are theoretically very well proven molecules which can counter the oxidants. Okay. Let's see. Some 21 randomized control trials and the meta-analysis. You can see I have put a circle on the result. Okay. So that means people has tried to prove that antioxidants are having on all these trials, some in ICU and some in non-ICU patients. Okay. So some with a positive result, some with a negative result, and the final conclusion comes which tells that the antioxidant micronutrients has a very, very limited role, maybe in very specific set of patients. Though I am a believer of the micronutrient, though I am a believer of the antioxidant, okay, but I failed to prove here that it's showing, because the study, it's again the meta-analysis result, again it's neutral. Okay. It cannot claim whether it's a harmful or it's going to help in a great way. After antioxidants, the next, the area, if you go to any like nutrition shop, any supermarket also, okay, so many nutrient content will be there, okay. Fatty acids, lot is spoken over, okay, the fish oil, okay, smoked lipid, and so many things are spoken, okay. Let's see. So basically, so three kind of fatty acids: saturated, unsaturated. Unsaturated are better compared to the saturated. This is the common knowledge, we all know. Among unsaturated, we have omega 3 and omega 6. Omega 3 polyunsaturated fatty acid, PUFA, is friendly, it is helpful, and omega 6 is harmful. It produces all oxidants, inflammatory mediators. Omega 3 counteracts the inflammatory mediators. They are friendly molecules for us. Next. So, little bit about the omega 6. So, we assume a food to contain 0 omega 6, but it's never possible. Okay. So, there are formula with more of omega 3, less of omega 6, starting from 1:1 combination to 7:1 combinations. Now, the 7:1 combination company, they market, they portray, they advertise in a way that, okay, the omega 3 to omega 6 composition is highest with us. Okay. So, that's the reason you should buy it. Okay. But again, ultimately, the studies, they failed. Now, coming to the guidelines, the SPN guideline, okay, they have written, okay, in specific patient population, that too for a very specific time period, you can resume, you can prescribe omega 3 fatty acid containing fluids. So, particularly surgical patient and some born patients. Not a very great recommendation, that again the level of recommendation is 0. Okay. So, though I wanted to quote those lines, again the level of recommendations, again they disappointed in favor of the omega 3. But theoretically it is very well proven that omega 3 is friendly, it is antioxidant nature, it should be given, but the guidelines, they are silent on it. Now next, the most researched molecule among the amino acids is arginine and the glutamine. Okay. So there are lot of formula nowadays, it's coming in the even enteral and parenteral formula, the glutamine contain and arginine contain. Now the glutamine, among glutamine containing, glutamine is an Actually, it's a non-essential amino acid, but in our patients, in critically sick patients, it becomes conditionally essential. Now, the supply demand is disproportionately high for glutamine and arginine in ICU patients. That's the reason, so probably glutamine should be added. In fact, all the enteral feeding formula or the parenteral feeding formula, invariably they contain the glutamine and arginine. Okay. And we believe more of glutamine is needed, particularly the sick patients. So, what is the physiologic role of glutamine? They are vital for the gut function, particularly the immunity from the gut, that is the GULT. Okay. Second, for kidney. So, for the organ survival, they are known as the fuel for the gut and kidney. So, it is very well proven the level of glutamine and the severity of disease, level of glutamine and the length of hospital stay, and level of glutamine and the mortality. So, it is very well known that the low level of glutamine has a direct relation with the low outcome. But, it is never proven by supplementing glutamine. I saw so many studies. Okay, I tried to come here and tell that probably glutamine supplement has a mortality benefit. Okay, so even the meta-analysis also failed to prove that adding glutamine or supplementing glutamine has a great mortality benefit. Yes, there are low infection chances, less ICU stay, less hospital stay. Still, the results are not bad. So probably in the future, some result can come. Some studies can do. Some research can do like a proper designing of the study and come with some good outcomes. So this is the theoretical role of glutamine in modulating the immunity in ICU patients. Critically ill patients, glutamine, it enhances the immunity by decreasing the free radicals. Scavenger, glutamine is a precursor of the glutathione. Glutathione is the ultimate antioxidant of the body. So, glutamine is the essential amino acid or the conditional essential amino acid. That's how it is proposed. Now, so again, I went and searched through meta-analysis and other things. 30 randomized control trials and the final meta-analysis. Okay, again, it is a red dot on the center. Okay, so maybe after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, probably the point can move either this direction or that direction. But right now, what the organizers, they wanted the answer, where do we stand in terms of glutamine? Probably this is the point. Okay, it is not very well. This is in terms of mortality again I'm talking. Okay, so 30 RCTs, the point is probably it is yet to be proven. I'm not talking here it is useless, not helpful, other things. It is yet to be proven that glutamine is helping in changing the mortality in ICU patients. But yes, it is in like single center studies, small studies, they all came with some idea that glutamine is the molecule which should be there. Now next group, which is extensively marketed again, the probiotics. Okay, so probiotics, so there are a lot of theories behind, because the friendly flora and the enemy flora, now the friendly flora they decrease, enemy flora they increase with antibiotic and so many things. So theoretical again it looks very, very attractive. Now in that area as well, I wanted to search the result again. Now should we or should not we prescribe probiotic regularly, routinely to ICU patients? Probably I was again disappointed, okay, to put the RCT result, the dot is again at the center. So currently again, so don't take it as a negative class, I am not talking negatively, but that's how the RCTs came, that's in ICU patients. Okay, maybe in future the dot can move on either ways, but till now the result is there is no recommendation to go for a regular or a routine practice of the probiotic in patients. There is no direct relation between outcome in these patients. So in summary, now this is the guideline. Okay, so again, I because my previous speakers they all put SPN guidelines, so I just try to avoid those things. Now, this is a summary of all the guidelines I have concluded. Now consider in the following conditions. Okay, if the patient is undergoing abdominal surgery, that to upper abdominal surgery, especially in malnourished patients. Second, in ICU patients, there is some study, if the Apache is between 10 to 20, they found some benefit with immunonutrients. The patient with trauma, this is one more area where there are some beautiful studies, they proved that there is some benefit in trauma patients. Now, how to give? What should be the strategy of supplementing the immunonutrition? Okay. First, arginine, the dose is also recommended. At least you should not give 2 gram, 3 gram and and come and tell that it's not helping. No, they have recommended at least 12 gram per liter. If you are giving a 1 liter, then patient should get at least 12 gram of arginine. Now, second, the duration should be at least more than 3 days. It should not be 1 day or 2 days, then it's not helping. Third, enteral feeding should be used aggressively. If at all we are going for the immunonutrition, that we should not deviate from the enteral feeding, that is the norm. Feedings, again, goals 20 to 25. Yeah, this is my last slide basically. The answer, when we have nothing, when the guidelines are mute, when studies are like on either way they are there, then the school of thought is divided again, whether you are a believer or a disbeliever. Okay. If your patient is fitting to those things, trauma, surgery, and few fitting to the Apache score, probably it can be given, but till now it is not very well proven. Okay, but still I see, including me, we do practice, we do utilize immunonutrition. That is my personal practice basically. Okay, but studies has failed to prove. Thank you.